Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Welcome to the Phil Paleologus Show, with updates and breaking news from the WBSM newsroom and on the WBSM app, and your calls and conversation at 508-996-0500. Here he is, New Bedford's #1 talk show host, WBSM's Morning Mayor, Phil Paleologus.
This is quite an example to pass along to our children. Good morning and welcome, adults. 9 minutes after 6 o'clock, we are ready to rock and talk. Good morning. It's a very special day, the 6th of January, a Friday, and Massachusetts has a new governor. We'll talk all about that and the wintry mix and the combination of 20, 43, 51, 55, 57, a mega ball of 4, and the mega plier of 2 times. We'll talk about that. By the way, who won? Who won? Did you win the game? That was the question that is going to be asked today. We have a lot of news to share with you, so let's get to it as Kate and I welcome you to the weekend.
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app.
If I could be you,
and you could be me,
for just 1 hour,
if you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind,
walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out, and for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
This is the Morning Mayor. Morning Mayor. Phil Paleologus on New Bedford's news talk station, 1420 WBSM.
Good morning. A few things are more alluring than, of course, the everlasting hope that overnight your life has changed dramatically by winning the lottery. You know that feeling? Despite the odds, every year millions of Americans want to participate as this new year starts with a Mega Millions jackpot that is nearing historic highs, with no one successfully matching the 6 numbers needed to win the Mega Millions. And so onward we go. It's right now at $940 million. That's not too far from $1 billion, right? Nice way to start the year. As news about the lottery is hitting the rest of the country, the January 5th chosen numbers were 20, 43, 51, 55, 57, and the yellow mega ball was 4 with the mega plier 2. I'll be repeating them throughout the morning, but I guess no billionaires today. Well, I don't know how to say this, but Mr. Speaker, no Mr. Speaker, there is no Mr. Speaker yet.
1420 WBSM can now be heard on 99.5 FM.
I love these folks. Hey, Phil, it was 1859 the last time this happened. I love people. They wake up with these things in their heads. I love it. I love it. I don't know who started the fight in 1859.
if a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Great to have you with us. Good morning, everybody, as we welcome you to the weekend. It's Friday morning, the 6th of January. For many of you in the community of faith, today is a very religious day. And for others, it's a very political day. We'll have all of that as we congratulate Maura Healey, wishing the new governor congratulations and best wishes. There's a wintry mix right around the corner, an inch or so of snow, and that will be a wintry mix going up north. But if you're on the roads closer to, let's say, Lawrence and Worcester, be very careful later on because there will be black ice, there'll be slick spots. It's when the wintry weather comes and the temperature drops, we have to be very careful. Here on the South Coast, though, we're going to take all rain. Yeah, that's a blessing. It's a snow drought. How's that?
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app.
Would that guy slow down a little bit? 20, 43, 51, 55, 57, Mega Ball 4, Mega Plier 2. It's 15 minutes, and I've already said it 3 times.
WBSM isn't just a broadcast, it's also a podcast. Get all of our podcasts at WBSM.com, the WBSM app, or just search WBSM on your favorite podcast provider.
You go ahead, do what you do to get ready today. I'm going to be right behind you, filling you in on all of the news, local and otherwise. And let me just get a grunt out of you like, yeah. Were any of you aware that our Massachusetts State Police released information following the sudden death of 3 police officers within 4 days? I'm glad that you paused. I'm in the business. I didn't. Massachusetts State Police releasing a statement following the sudden death of 3 officers within 4 days on Wednesday. The state police released this press release statement following the sudden deaths of 3 officers within 4 days last December 2022. The 3 active law enforcement officials were John Santos, only 25 years old, of the Plymouth County Sheriff's Department, Sean Besserick, he's 48, of the Brockton Police Department, and Officer Christopher Davis, 42, of the Stoughton Police Department, all 3 dying suddenly. Everything you need to know about that story is coming up. Good morning, everyone. 6:17, and we've got a cold one out there. We have just about, 35 degrees.
Mornings after Phil, it's time.
2, let's see, Melchor, Gaspar, and Baltazar. Nice to have you along this morning.
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app.
This is one of those stories we'll keep an eye on. In the business, we say it has legs, meaning more details will be coming in from the Cohasset Police Department. The police there are desperate and asking for the public's help in finding a woman who was last seen on New Year's Day. The police department, again in Cohasset, is looking for your help in finding a 39-year-old woman who hasn't been seen since January 1st. And you know what? She had never taken off like this before. She has a husband and children, and everybody is so upset. In a statement, the police chief there reported that Anna Walsh was last seen at her home in Cohasset early after midnight on New Year's Day. She was described as having a height of 5'2", weight 115, brown hair, brown eyes, olive complexion. The officials say they believe she speaks with an Eastern European accent And anyone with any information about Miss Walsh is asked to call the Cohasset Police. This one is really one where they have the wrench thrown in the middle of the gears. They just cannot figure out why this person, very unlike this person, would show up missing for a week. So later on this morning, we're going to hear from the chief of police there in Cohasset, because I have left out a lot of details that hopefully they're going to give us. The big detail right now is, if you know anything about it, get a hold of the police. The NFL has canceled the Bills-Bengals game that was played on Tuesday this week. And all I can say is thank God.
Hear about South Coast news? Then talk about it. 1420 WBSM.
Yes, I do think that way. I do not think that with all the stats and everything, this would be unfair to some football teams. You know what? Life ain't fair, is it?
My daughter is Marina. Marina has a rare form of children's eye cancer, retinoblastoma. Her doctor sent us to a specialist, and then the specialist sent us to St. Jude. Within the first couple weeks of us getting here, I was just so scared. I think the reality just hit me, and it kind of hit me all at once. I had started to cry, and her doctor came in, Dr. Brennan came in, and just didn't even say anything, sat down beside me, and hugged me and held me while I was literally sobbing. And she just said, "It's gonna be okay. We don't have to worry anymore. The treatment worked, and we've saved her eye." This place has been such a blessing for us. There's no way we could have paid for treatment back home if we had to. We can come here and we can just solely focus on taking care of her and helping her heal.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Now, back to the Phil Paleologus Show, presented by the all-new Ford Explorer. Test drive one today at Wareham Ford. 1420 WBSM.
Here's another thank you, Lord. The Bills have announced that Damar Hamlin, he has shown remarkable, actually miraculous improvement. And it appears that he has turned a corner. Oh, my gosh. The Bills-Bengals game, by the way, will not resume. They're going to bury that one. And later on today, we'll hear more. There's going to be a few press conferences. This one talking about how Damar Hamlin is the true recipient of what they call a miracle on Theophany, on a day that we look at and have a lot of prayers for. Good morning, everybody. 6:24. I have a lot of news here. First of all, I want to remind you that in Spain on this day, and also the Netherlands, and I believe Belgium and Germany, and I believe in, the Netherlands. I said that, right. So much of Latin America, along with much of North America, is celebrating the Three Kings Day, commemorating the visit by Melchior, Gaspar, Balthazar. You know that? And there was one more. Who was that? The baby Jesus.
Vision loss is not something that you feel until it happens.
Most people lose their vision from diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma, not at birth.
3 million Americans have glaucoma, and half don't even know it.
11 million people in the United States have macular degeneration.
So many eye disorders can be treated if caught early.
Make a plan today to get your eyes checked.
Visit brightfocus.org to learn more.
My daughter is Marina. Marina has a rare form of children's eye cancer, retinoblastoma. Her doctor sent us to a specialist, and then the specialist sent us to St. Jude. Within the first couple weeks of us getting here, I was just so scared. I think the reality just hit me, and it kind of hit me all at once. I had started to cry, and her doctor came in, Dr. Brennan came in, and just didn't even say anything, sat down beside me, and hugged me and held me while I was literally sobbing. And she just said, it's going to be okay. We don't have to worry anymore. The treatment worked and we've saved her eye. This place has been such a blessing for us. There's no way we could have paid for treatment back home if we had to. We can come here and we can just solely focus on taking care of her and helping her heal.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Spain today, you'd see the children there caroling from door to door, dressed up as the kings themselves. 3 of them. The day is known as El Dia de los Reyes. The children leave their shoes out at night, much like we leave our stockings out. Different strokes for different folks. Yet we are on a earth that has many, many different kinds of beliefs and people and traditional beliefs. Well, that is spreading all over the world today. By the way, whoever finds a prize today is believed to be blessed for a fortunate year. Does that include Mega Millions? That's what I want to know. Very traditional is the preparation of rosca. That's a bread with a little trinket inside. Sometimes the baby Jesus. You know, it's a wonderful tradition, and it's baked inside the bread. Sometimes whoever finds the prize is believed to have a very, very lucky year. As we say good morning to you on this little Christmas. It's the 12th day of Christmas, and many consider this day leading up as a very religious day, as a very spiritual day, as we welcome you at 6:28. Some religious historians believe these days actually represent the time between December 25th and January the 6th, the conclusion of those days, celebrated with the feast on the eve of the 12th night. Do you know that Shakespeare made this very, very popular? Go back and look. It was popularized many, many ways, but in a Shakespearean play. That's how this was publicized back when. By the way, there are different names for today. Theophany. The Epiphany, that's a Christian feast day, always falling on the 6th of January. It originated in the East, where Christians celebrate the birth and the baptism of Jesus. Today in the Orthodox Church, the waters are blessed, and you know the holy water that you get all year long? Well, today is the day of its blessings.
1420 WBSM is now also on 99.5 FM.
Melted butter. Let's see. Melted butter is very good with lobster. Oh, you have to have it on popcorn. But what about on the top layer of a river? Yeah? Melted butter has spilt into Wisconsin's canal during a dairy plant fire. In a very Wisconsin environment, a dairy plant fire in Portage, Wisconsin. Well, what can I say? It went into meltdown, literally. This was earlier this week. The fire spilled warm butter into the historic Portage Canal, and crews were dispatched, and this was a first for them. And while first responders found heavy smoke and fire coming from the plant, when they arrived. The primary obstacles, when they arrived, Kate, the primary obstacles to fighting the fire were heavy smoke and melted butter.
Ooh, sounds delicious.
That's the first. And let me be the first to wish you a happy Theophany and a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Republican leader Kevin McCarthy is still without enough votes to become Speaker of the House. The House adjourned Thursday night and will reconvene at noon again today. Every speaker since 1923 has been elected after just one vote. A group of about 20 hardline Republicans is opposed to McCarthy's candidacy. President Biden will mark the 2-year anniversary of the Capitol riot today. Biden is expected to award the Presidential Citizens Medal, the nation's second highest civilian honor, to law enforcement officers who defended the building on January 6, 2021. He'll also present medals to election workers who rejected efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. At least 6 people are dead as violent storms pound Northern California. Among the victims are a 19-year-old woman who was killed when her car hydroplaned on a flooded street and slammed into a utility pole near San Francisco, and a boy who was killed when a tree fell on his mobile home in Sonoma County. The head coach of the Buffalo Bills is applauding the national outpouring of support shown to safety Damar Hamlin, who remains hospitalized in Cincinnati.
It's amazing to know the impact that this has had on so many people, and for now Damar to be awake and his mom to be able to share that with him it's incredible.
Sean McDermott spoke publicly Thursday for the first time since Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest during Monday's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. The NFL has now ruled the game a no contest. McDermott pointed to Hamlin's Toy Drive charity, which has now raised more than $7.6 million. The coach added the recent news regarding Hamlin's progress has been, quote, very encouraging. Doctors say Hamlin's neurological functions, quote, remain intact, and he's, quote, beginning to awaken. He can reportedly write, but is not yet speaking. His doctors say the first thing NFL player Hamlin asked after waking up in the intensive care unit was, quote, who won the game? The chair of the Senate Commerce Committee says the panel intends to hold hearings after Southwest Airlines canceled nearly 16,000 flights last week. Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell said on Wednesday that her committee will hold hearings, quote, to examine how to strengthen consumer protections and airline operations. The Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality is pushing back against claims that they discriminated against the city of Jackson by refusing to fund improvements to the city's failing water systems. Aubrey Connor, Director of Environmental and Climate Justice with the NAACP, thinks the investigation is much needed despite Mississippi DEQ Executive Director Chris Wells saying no discrimination ever happened.
This complaint is an opportunity for communities to understand that their voices are important. It's an opportunity for communities to really be able to highlight the discrimination that's happening.
The NAACP filed a complaint last year over the water crisis. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has approved use of the world's first vaccine for honeybees. It's engineered to protect bees against a bacterial condition that's known to weaken colonies by attacking bee larvae. The USDA approved a conditional license for the vaccine this week and says the nation's honeybee colonies have been declining every year since 2006. Bees are pollinators and play a critical role in many parts of the ecosystem. And today is Epiphany, the traditional end of Christmas when Christians celebrate the 3 Magi arriving to visit Jesus at his birth. In France, it's the only week you can buy a galette des rois, the traditional almond pastry that comes with a fève, or a bean or ceramic figurine inside, and a crown for whoever finds it. In sports, the Celtics snapped their 2-game slide with a 124-95 victory over the Mavericks in Dallas. The Bruins began their 3-game road trip with a 5-2 win over the Los Angeles Kings. Boston will visit the San Jose Sharks tomorrow night. And the Patriots face the Bills on Sunday in the final game of the regular season. Now for a look at your local forecast from ABC 6.
Bundle up and keep the umbrella handy for rain showers this morning and to the afternoon. They may end as some snow showers in northern parts of Rhode Island. Temperature stays close to 40 all day long with a north wind making it feel colder. Partial clearing tonight. Temperatures drop through the 30s and we're near 40 tomorrow with sunshine and a northerly breeze. From the ABC 6 Weather Center, I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Nick Morganelli on New Bedford's News Talk Station, 1420 WBSM.
Right now it is 37 degrees and cloudy. I'm Kate Robinson for WBSM News. Stay up to date with New Bedford's News Talk Station, 1420 WBSM, and get breaking news alerts and podcasts with the WBSM app.
Good morning, and thank you. What a pleasure always to be with you, Kate. Good
Thank
morning.
you. Same to you.
Bet. All right, we're going to go from France to Ireland in just a little while, and from there to Brockton, where we see that at about 2 in the morning, there was a report of a multifamily home in Brockton that was in flames. That's all we have, so we will be patient, and soon they'll release more information. All we can hope for is that there were no injuries, because there's going to be displacement, of course. It raised my eyebrows. Almost $2 billion in federal funding to replace the Bourne and the Sagamore bridges. It ain't coming true, folks.
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app. Barry Richard News Alerts. Stream audio. Send us text messages and get live traffic and weather updates all on the WBSM app. Download it now from your app store or at WBSM.com.
It will be very interesting to see how Taylor Schilling, of course, shares the first few words of one of the greatest classics of all time. Gather around the Lagoda. That's where it's going to be, at the New Bedford Whaling Museum. It's the 27th anniversary of the Readathon, America's most iconic and classic action-packed narrative. Be transported back in time with a movie star and television star, Taylor Schilling. And that is happening tomorrow. Yep. We have quite a weekend here in historic New Bedford. We're glad you're going to celebrate it with us.
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app.
Do you know how to live stream? Because it's going to be right there. It's going to be beautiful, too. No pictures yet of the melted butter spill. Thank you very much. It's fascinating what people think is a very important story. Today is a very important day, the 6th of January. And Massachusetts has a new, is it not a king or a queen, right? It's a new governor, Maura Healey, as we wish her and her entire administration. In fact, today she's going to have her first cabinet meeting. As we go forward from here, congratulations. The day is not going to be all that great. There is a wintry mix around Worcester and then going up towards Lawrence and into New Hampshire. And so if you're here on the South Coast, you are going to get all rain. That's a plus. If you do some traveling and go up there near Worcester or Lawrence, do expect some slick roads, black ice. It's going to get a little bit hairy a little later on, so just keep that in mind, all righty? Here on the South Coast again, we'll take all the rain we can get. Good morning. We have a very interesting announcement. He asked the first question, and he couldn't speak. He wrote it down on a piece of paper. Who won? Who do you think said that? Who won? Yeah. Damar Hamlin, folks. It has been announced that the game that started this week is going to be buried. The Bills-Bengals game, where Damar went into cardiac arrest, will not be resumed. And I'm very happy for that. A lot of my friends aren't, but I can see the respect that Bills-Bengals game deserves and would never have achieved if they went on and played it.
Back to the Morning Mayor, Phil Paleologos on 1420 WBSM, New Bedford's news talk station.
That's where you can say the almighty green dollar has taken its place ahead of everything, but they didn't. So it was good to hear that the announcement was made. Also, miraculous and remarkable improvements. Well, it seems as though the world over prayed for and, had their prayers answered. We'll have more on his condition, on his emergency response, and on capturing a great question. Who won?
My daughter is Marina. Marina has a rare form of children's eye cancer, retinoblastoma. Her doctor sent us to a specialist, and then the specialist sent us to St. Jude. Within the first couple weeks of us getting here, I was just so scared. I think the reality just hit me, and it kind of hit me all at once. I had started to cry, and her doctor came in, Dr. Brennan came in, and just didn't even say anything, sat down beside me, and hugged me and held me while I was literally sobbing. And she just said, "It's gonna be okay. We don't have to worry anymore. The treatment worked, and we've saved your eye." This place has been such a blessing for us. There's no way we could have paid for treatment back home if we had to. We can come here and we can just solely focus on taking care of her and helping her heal.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Good morning. Great to have you with us. Are you going to have a little bit of a party, a get-together? Well, if you do, were you aware that the butcher shop can create a beautiful platter, and not with, rolled boiled ham or anything like that, but some very beautiful, tasty, original snacks and appetizers, up to 50. You have a choice of up to 50 at the butcher shop. Just go online and see all of the wonderful, delicious things you can have on your party platter. It's a different way to go, and a delicious one from all of our friends at the butcher shop, who wish you and your family a healthy and blessed 2023.
Our workforce needs work. I'm Holly Robinson Pete. Many of you might not know this, but my 22-year-old son has autism.
So do I. My name is Kevin Valdez, and my intellectual difference makes me the passionate actor that I am.
And I'm Mackenzie Cohen, a Paralympian with a developmental difference. Did you know that 97% of HR professionals say that employees with disabilities perform the same or better than their peers without disabilities? Yet still, the differently abled face so many employment challenges in this country.
It is time we start building a workforce that works for all. A workforce that is diverse, inclusive, and equitable for those with intellectual differences.
And for those with developmental differences, too.
A workforce that recognizes that our greatest strengths lie in our differences.
It is time we hire inclusively.
Join us, Delivering Jobs and the SHRM Foundation, in creating pathways to 1 million jobs and leadership opportunities. Please visit deliveringjobs.org.
Great to have you with us. Good morning, 6:47, as we have a lot of news here that includes kings and governors and police, and we'll stop there. Were you aware of a story that talked about the sudden death of 3 police officers within 4 days? On Wednesday of this week, Massachusetts State Police released a statement following the sudden deaths of 3 police officers within 4 days. The 3 are in Plymouth, the Plymouth County Sheriff's Department. John Santos, just 25 years old. Out of the Brockton Police Department, Officer Christopher Davis, 42 years old. And from Stoughton Police Department, another police officer was found dead. It's a mystery that they're looking into, and I'll tell you, we will keep our eyes open on that story. It's the first time that I'm hearing about the sudden death of 3 police officers here in the Commonwealth. Well, we have the Buffalo Bills and Damar Hamlin. I mention this again because did you know that this weekend is going to be a very emotional weekend between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots?
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app.
Cohasset police are scratching their heads. They don't know the whereabouts of a woman who disappeared. She worked in Washington. She was supposed to take a flight from Boston down to Washington over the New Year's Day holiday, but Cohasset police said they were seeking help from you, the public, to help locate 39-year-old. The police chief identified her as Anna Walsh. She was last seen at her home in Cohasset. Early after midnight, New Year's Day, she has vanished, and police want to know if any of you listening know anything about this. The chief of police there in Cohasset, by the way, will be holding a press conference later on today, and you'll be, of course, afforded more information. But this one seems to be a real question mark. Good morning. How nice of you to join us. Friday, January 6th, the Epiphany. And Massachusetts has an epiphany. A new governor, Maura Healey. And there's also the epiphany of winter coming. How much snow have we had here on the South Coast? Hardly any, right? So we have ourselves a snow drought. I wish that Chelsea was with us so we could joke about that. Good morning. A wintry mix is up there near Worcester, and when it heads towards this area, it's going to be complete rain, all right? So we are going to luck out yet again. Worcester, Lawrence, that area northwest of Boston, they are going to have slick roads later on today. If you're traveling, keep that in mind. Slick spots and black ice up there.
He's Phil Paleologos. He's the Morning Mayor. He's dependable, like the all-new Ford F-150. Test drive one today at Wareham Ford, 1420 WBSM.
Isn't that amazing? The first question out of his mouth. He didn't speak, though. He wrote it down on a notepad because they still have those tubes down him. So, they have a lot of things going on with him. We are rejoicing that a miracle has taken place. A few days ago, it was touch and go, and this morning, doctors are saying it's nothing less than remarkable. I like that.
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app.
Oh, let's see here. Hold on. In the middle of all of this very important news, I see a bill. What's this one for? Marshals. Oh, no, this has to be either a big mistake or Celeste is at it again. 1420. Win the biggie, but you could have won some money. I'll give you the Mega Millions in just a second. First of all, good morning and welcome. Great to have you with us. Melted butter spilling on a river? That's one of the headlines. But I think one of the best news headlines this morning is a really good sign for our energy needs. I'm concerned about the price of energy, folks. And yesterday we heard what I hope will be some great energy news. Massachusetts and Maine plan on partnering on this large wind farm. It's going to be inland, but nonetheless, we here are going to get about 40% of the energy that is generated. Details coming up.
Phil Paleologos. He's smart and he's got style, like the all-new Ford Fusion. Take your test drive today at Wareham Ford, 1420 WBSM.
Good morning, Acushnet. How are you? Huh? Great to have you with us. By the way, Mass DOT is closing one of your famous bridges there over the River Acushnet for years. What? Yep. Closure is going to begin this Monday, January the 9th, and it's needed to facilitate some replacement operations that are going to take us all the way through September of 2025. There's going to be a lot of detours in place. Mass DOT is announcing that it's going to begin the work on the Hamlin Street Bridge. Isn't it strange? Hamlin.
This is the Morning Mayor. Morning Mayor. Phil Paleologos on New Bedford's News Talk Station, 1420 WBSM.
Meet Bob Minetti. In 2016, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Bob participated in a clinical trial that included cutting-edge radiation therapy and surgery. He's been in remission since completion. I'm Keisha Sharp. Since losing my mother to pancreatic cancer, I've been working to share the kind of state-of-the-art work being done by Stand Up to Cancer and Lustgarten Foundation. To learn more about the latest research, including clinical trials, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
Good morning. Welcome.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break.
Let me go through this stack over here. First of all, Miss Cheryl Perry. Now, we have two Cheryl Perrys. One in New Bedford on Rochambeau Street and another one in Dartmouth. So good morning to Cheryl Perry. And good morning to Susan Bliss. You are a loyal listener of the Morning Mirror from T-Ticket. You got the ticket that we love to hear all about. Good morning, everybody.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.